All right, welcome back to the Central Valley Buzz. I'm your host, Chuck Leonard, and let's bring in our next guest, Billy, Denise Lanier, the one-woman adventure.
Hi,
What's
Chuck.
going
How are
on?
you?
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Now, explain yourself, the one-woman adventure.
I shall explain myself. Actually, I'm working with Valley Public Television, or Valley PBS, to create a 10-episode program, One Woman Adventure Along Nature's Path. And our goal is to encourage people to get out into the surrounding national parks and teach people how to hike, how to backpack, so it doesn't become a Survivor episode. What do you bring your backpack to do it safely? But today, actually, one of our episodes, we're going to be talking about hiking with dogs out there. I just came off a trip recently and had a few run-ins with some animals up on the trail in the dark and things.
You mean animals that weren't dogs?
Yes, so it made me think about hiking. What would have happened if I'd had my dog with me?
Is it more safe to hike with a dog?
Well, there are pros and cons to it. In national parks, you can't bring your dogs up off the trail. They have to be on the paved areas for several reasons. Some people are against hiking with dogs, and I understand. Imagine you run into a bear, for example. You know, you and I encounter a bear, and we think we work the steps. We make ourselves large. We say, "Hey, bear." A dog sees a bear.
Throw it at him and say, "Eat this." Not me.
Not my baby. Now imagine a dog, though. All they think is the person who I love most right behind me and threat right in front of you. So that could be a little dangerous. You'd only take your dog out on a trail if they're really
Would the bear go after the dog first?
Well, bears don't typically come after you. They're usually just walking away, and I'm walking around. You happen to come upon them. But that's why I started to say, if you're on a trail with a dog, you would only bring your dog with you if they're under really good voice control or under a leash. But because if they see the bear, you want that dog to leave it or to stay and not go after the bear, because they're going to think they're going to protect you, your dog likely, and stuff. And that would be a disaster if that happened.
Oh, a bear, let's play.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not going to happen. So. But I want to talk about hiking with animals, and I brought some pictures of our 3 dogs, or actually 2 of the dogs that I hike with. I have a St. Bernard, his picture right there, that's Poe, and then the smaller one is Cujo.
Wait, you didn't name the St. Bernard Cujo?
Exactly. We actually we rescued Cujo, that's our pit bull German Shepherd mix, first, and my daughter named him Cujo because he was a pit bull, and people said, "Oh, no." But he's just the biggest love in the world. Later on, we adopted Poe, the St. Bernard.
So you go hiking with these dogs.
I do.
And what do you do with the dogs?
They love it outside. Now, there are different weather dogs. Poe, for example, the St. Bernard, he's much more of a cold weather dog.
You're not worried about ticks and stuff up there?
Well, there are 2. Whenever you're taking a dog on the trail, before you head up to the mountain, you want to give them a good brushing to make sure they're not carrying any seeds, any non-native species into the woods. And then before you come back, you want to check their ears, you want to check their all over the place, give them a good brushing. And usually our dogs, as you saw in the picture, have their own backpacks, so
that's pretty cool. Let me see this.
Exactly.
So that you strap this on the dog. And the great thing is, this isn't necessarily all dog stuff. This could be stuff for you that the dog's carrying for you, right?
No, we all carry our own weight. I do have a St. Bernard, you know. No, actually, they carry their own weight. Inside we have, remember I was here before, I brought my backpack, and we had the bell on my backpack. Well, the same principle in here, because I don't want my dog to suddenly scare a bear, right? I want any animals out there to know, hey, there's something coming up in the trail, so they'll hear the bell. Whenever I go, let's see, you'll love these, actually. At nighttime, our dogs obviously have claws. I don't want them shredding my tent or anything, so much to my dog's dismay, they wear little booties at nighttime. Yeah, exactly.
Doggy
that's right.
booties.
Oh, the grin, that's right, on the green screen. You probably can't see them. I'll keep them in front of me. Oh, they're not working. But in any case, they are green little booties here. There's several other things you want to carry with you.
So when you go out on these trails, you're taking everything in your backpack. You're not carrying much, really, in your hands. You are everything's in your backpack: your tent, your food, your utensils.
You are completely self-reliant out there.
How did you become that girl?
I've backpacked all my life. Exactly. No. Took my hair up, hat up in the
How
wind.
did you become the girl that goes camping in the trail hiking?
You know, I've always been backpacking and hiking my entire life. From back
you grow up
east.
here?
No, actually in Delaware. Hiked some of the Appalachian Trail back there with church family, on and on. Moved out here to California back in '91 and fell in love with the mountains. How can you not? We're surrounded by Yosemite and Kings Canyon, Sequoia. You just turn around a 360 and you're...
How come before you said you're from Delaware, I didn't hear the accent? Now I can't stop it.
I'll try to talk. Just kidding.
You sound like a Kennedy all of a sudden over here.
No, Delaware's a wonderful place to have been raised. There's like the Appalachian Trail that goes throughout the entire East Coast. But out here, one of the goals of the program for One Woman Adventure Along Nature's Path, like I said, is to encourage other people to get out there into the wilderness and to hike safely. There are so many people here in Fresno and Central Valley who've never been up to Yosemite and Kings Canyon.
It's just
right up the
amazing.
road up there.
Yeah.
So it's an easy day trip. And just bring your dog, get some exercise, get some fresh air.
So when you go camping or trail hiking, and with your intent to camp at the end of the day, you're going off trail and just...
I genuinely don't. Because I go solo, I tend to stay on the trail for safety reasons. If anything happened, I tell people before I set out on a backpacking trip where I'm going to go. And so I want to stay on that trail as much as possible in case anything happens. They know where I am.
So what, are you building these lean-tos with the fires and the whole thing, or are you just in the tent?
No, I just carry my tent. Other people sleep just on the ground in a baby sack under the stars, but I prefer the safety of being inside my tent if it rains.
Away from snakes.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
I'm not a fan of snakes.
Yeah,
but.
me either. Now, what do you do? What do you do when you run across a snake in your travels?
You know, I've run across rattlesnakes in the past. I was hiking with a friend one time, and he was up front, and a rattlesnake darted across, and so he actually been between us, and I am terrified of snakes. And it sat there just rattling away to the side, but I had to go across the trail. So I waited for it to calm down a little bit, and it's still just rattling in the rocks right next to me. But I had to go. So I had my poles in front of me, thinking, well, if it darts, maybe I'll be able to hit it with the poles. But I realized if I had done
You
that...
couldn't just wait till it left?
Well, it wasn't going anywhere. It was just sitting right there.
You
And
could
there was a
throw
wall.
a rock at it or something?
No, I'm not going to throw a rock at a rattlesnake.
From a ways away, all right?
well,
it's not
actually-
going to chase you down.
Yeah, I didn't want to find out, actually, really, when it comes to snakes. Anyway, so I made it past, and it occurred to me, if it had darted out, and if I had flicked it with a pole, it would have gone right towards my friend, which, thankfully, that didn't happen. So I'm not a fan of snakes. And I don't see too many of them, actually. I've seen water snakes as I've been going through the water at nighttime.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You brought some things back here with you.
I do, actually, along the lines of hiking with our pets and our friends in order to help you get your dogs ready for the trail. There's a gift card from PetSmart. Just call in. And actually, the little doggy here is for your daughter, Dot.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
gift. There you
Thank
go.
you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm sure she'll love it. This is bigger than her.
Oh.
All right. And what is this?
Oh, this actually is... You mentioned when I would sleep in the tent, because we want to be as comfortable as possible, but don't think that your dog's just going to be okay hanging out on the dirt. I bring this, actually I carry this in my backpack for the dogs. It's just a large pad, like a little waterproof, let me take this off here, so that whenever we stop for a break or we make camp at night, they have a safe place as well, just to sit down. It's real soft and a mat for the dogs. They're my boys, and I love them dearly, so I want to make sure that they're comfortable. It also keeps at least some of the dirt off of them, so when they come
What do
crawling
the
in tent-
dogs eat when you're up there?
They carry their own food. Before you head out on the trail, you want to make sure I measure out their food. I have let's see, for example, their bowls or water bowl. Can I put this here?
Is that a flop out bowl? Is that what that is?
That's their water bowl right there.
How does it work?
There you go.
Like this way?
Yeah, either way, that's fine.
All right.
And I will make sure I bring.
What about
enough
the
food.
water? They drink stream water? Or?
They're just as susceptible to Girardia as we are.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so
No
ideally,
fun having a dog with, a little loose dog on their trail.
but it's kind of hard to stop them from drinking. And my dogs are always, bless you, drink all the time from rivers and things, and so far nothing's happened.
Okay,
So
and this is a bowl right here.
that's their food
too.
bowl right
That's
there.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
and make sure I do carry water with me just make sure that in case we don't get to a water source quick enough, I would have water for them because they're working hard as well.
Right.
And you also want to make sure you carry a first aid kit for your dogs. You don't step on the trail without a first aid kit, and make sure you carry one for your dogs as well. When you think about it, you're walking pretty high, and you may, roll your ankle, you may get scratched on something, but their face is right there at branch level. So things do happen to your dogs, and make sure that you take care of them as well.
Awesome. Okay, Denise, where can they find you?
Probably easiest is on Facebook, facebook.com, One Woman Adventure, Along Nature's Path. And there's also a website. The website right now is a blog until we get the series up in the air around April or so. So on the blog, you'll see my adventures, my thoughts along the trail. This past time when I went out and I was hiking at night and heard a big animal stalking behind me, that's stories on the blog as well. So check out, like I said, One Woman Adventure, Along Nature's Path on the website or on Facebook, both ways.
Awesome. Denise,
Thank you so
always
much.
good to see you.
I enjoyed it.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back on The Buzz. Stick around.